How will it cut down the manufacturing cost? The question that I raised was, in case the company needs exactly 2,500 units and it decides to make, what will be the advantages? See, advantages would be, number one, it would ensure quality. See, if you buy, the quality is not in your hand. If you dislike quality, you go to some other buyer. If you again dislike, you buy from someone else. But if you are making on your own, if you are the producer, then you are sure of your own quality. Nobody can disturb your quality. Number two, you will be sure, you will be 100% sure that your supply chain will not be adversely affected. आपको जब जरूरत है आपने बना लिया, आप किसी पे डिपेंडेंट नहीं है. आप क्वालिटी को कर सकते हैं, सप्लाई चेन को कर सकते हैं, डिपेंडेंसी आपकी खत्म हो सकती है वगैरह. सेवरल इसी किस्म से बहुत से एडवांटेजेस हम लिस्ट कर सकते हैं. डिसएडवांटेज क्या होंगे? डिसएडवांटेज क्या हो सकते हैं? डिसएडवांटेज ये हो सकते हैं,
फिक्स कॉस्ट इनकर करना पड़ेगा हमको.
चलिए, फिक्स कॉस्ट इनकर करना पड़ेगा और मैन पावर का यूज़ करना पड़ेगा. हमारे जो रिसोर्सेज हैं उनको हम कहीं और भी इस्तेमाल कर सकते थे, वो करना होगा. लाइक वाइज हर एक चीज़ के एडवांटेज एंड डिसएडवांटेज है. अब मैं, आप लोग यहाँ 85 स्टॉक मौजूद हैं, आपसे मैं ये कहूँ कि यू आर टू टेक ए डिसीजन. You are about to take a decision. You are working in a firm, or let us assume it is your own firm, and you are confronting with a situation that should we make or should we buy. And if I ask you to answer this question, don't answer immediately. See, when you answer your question, any question without thinking, then your answer in fact carries no meaning. Just think it on these lines. Suppose I ask you to write a profit and loss account on a piece of paper and there's a loss of 10 crore. So you immediately calculate a loss of 10 crore and you say a loss of 10 crore, loss of 1,000 crore, or profit of 2, something like that, you immediately calculate. But if somebody asks your firm to give him 50 lakhs, just 1% of the total amount, can you immediately do that? You will think 10 times, 100 times before giving that money. Even loan as a loan, you will think 10 times. Similarly, in the context of your own personal this thing, saying 10 lakh, 20 lakh, you say within seconds. But if somebody asks you, can you loan me 1,000 rupees for 3 days? Even if you have money, can you say so sharp? I mean, can you say so instantly, like you said about a company's profit and loss? So meaning thereby is that writing something on a piece of paper and doing it actually differs by 180-degree angle. There's see difference between the two. So the answer should be based on proper conviction. You should be able to convince, yes, I am with this answer because of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 these reasons. Now I repeat the question. The question is, I'm writing that question. In case, so continuing the discussion, we are continuing the discussion of making and buying, continuing the discussion. If your firm needs 2,500 units, will you make or buy? You need to write M for making or you will make or you will be for buying. Why I ask you to write one word for a specific group of words? Because I analyze this data using either Excel or some other simple software so that the answers are generated automatically. At times you add some words of your own choice. Sir, I will buy. I didn't ask you to write this sentence. I asked you to write just be. Sometimes you write, sir, I will make. या my firm will make. So the purpose of asking you is defeated. Whatever you are asked to do, just please confine to that. The purpose, my purpose will be served, your purpose will also be served. If I'm asking you to tell me you will make or buy, write M or B. If you indicate B, I know that your answer is that you will buy. If you are writing M, I know that your answer is that you will be making it. Now I'm posting this question. Don't answer just like that. Carry on the calculations in your mind, and if I ask you at a later date, later time, you should be able to convince me that this is why you will make and this is why you will answer. After thinking it for a little while, just write M or B, nothing more. Simply write M or B. After that, for your future. Correct. You are now writing it correctly, either M or B. I think everybody has written. Shall I proceed? Or still there are more? Those of you who have not yet mentioned, kindly mention. Okay, I hope that everybody has answered. Shall I proceed now, or still somebody is left? What do you mean by Hamza? Can you explain NA? Hamza?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain what it is?
Sir, I didn't understand, sir.
What you did not understand? No, leave your mic.
Sir, I'm not able to concentrate as I'm in.
But you should have asked me. You should have asked me. Okay, this concept is not clear. What? Okay, now let me know what is not clear.
Sir, actually, I'm in medical.
What
That's why
happened?
I'm not able.
So sorry, so sorry.
Sir,
Leave it. Leave it. No issue. Not an issue. Not an issue. Let me know if there is anything, any help that you need from any one of us. I hope all is well.
okay, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. So now let me just assume that everybody has answered. Everybody has written either yes or either make or buy. Now I am talking about those who have written buy. Suppose I am yet to analyze the data. Suppose out of 85, let us say 60 of you have written that you will buy. 60 of you have the reason. 60 of you are of the opinion that you would prefer to buy. Out of 85, if 60 are like this, so naturally 25 will be those who would be interested in making. Based on that and based on my past year's experience, if I tell you a statement those who have mentioned make, they may likely to go in finance in their second year, and those who say they will buy, they may go for personnel, for HR. I repeat, those of you either after analysis or in your subconscious mind have said that you will make. So there is a possibility that those 25 who are saying or who feel that better to make may opt for finance as a specialization in their second semester or fourth semester, and also they may like to work for a company in finance division. And those of you who feel that better to buy, whose decision is to buy, they may specialize in personnel, in MHR, in HR, human resources, and they may also perhaps work later after they leave the department, they join the professional world in HR area. Have you understood my statement? Is my statement clear to you? For example, I read out. Say, in front of me, the data is there. For example, Saad is there for making. Lata wants to buy. Talha also wants to buy. Lalit's decision is also to buy. Saad's decision was to make. Similarly, Lalit wants to buy, Ashish wants to buy, but Danish says that he wants to make. Now I have classified you for your future based on my experience and based on few more information that I have in my subconscious mind. Can you elaborate the reasons why I am saying that those who want to make will specialize in finance? Or those who want to buy will go for HR?
So your assumption is that the ones who are intending to make are looking at economies of scale or looking at future productions.
Okay.
They might have. So they're thinking that one-time investment is not a bad idea for future, future profits.
Okay. To some extent, it is correct. How about how about those who wishes to buy?
So that is where I disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, even if I am buying, if you look at some mobile companies, because sir, I understand that when you're making, you're ensuring quality, you're ensuring that a lot of things, that even you're cutting down your production costs as well. But then sir, today's market is such that if you there are so many competitors, so many people who are ready to produce for you, that if you focus on your marketing, on your branding more, you will be able to sell anything in the market. And secondly sir, when you are producing, you are having a lot of headache. For example, you'll have to production is not a simple straightforward thing, sir. You'll have to do a lot of planning. You have to make sure that, and it's not necessary that you'll get it right on the first day or first year itself. And sir, production also has what do you say, taxes. In India we have
Okay. The discussion is going in the right direction. Now let someone else also contribute. Why did I make those statements?
Sir, I want to go with buy.
You want to go with
Buy.
buying? Okay, no issue. Any other observation? No, there has to be some reason for that. No, you are changing your decision, not an issue. But there has to be some more addition from other side also. Why is buying preferred over making, or vice versa? And what is the relationship between HR and finance? Suppose somebody says that he wants to go for buying. I am classifying him as an HR person. What is the reason? What does buying has to do with HR? Someone else, let someone else also contribute. There are 89 of you now. It is not something which requires any prior understanding or hardcore accounting class. Accounting, I mean, this is something which is applicable to, I mean, which can be understood by the management students.
So it suggests that the person is good in
A
bargaining and people
bit
skills.
louder, please. Nidal.
So it suggests that the person is good at bargaining and people skills.
So he wants to buy.
Sir, I
Okay.
think the
Hence
firm
HR.
Okay. I think, yes, Lata.
Sir, I think the firm has wide choice of selection. So we can choose the product according to our needs, which best suited to the company.
Okay. Suppose you,
Sir,
yes, Aditya.
sir, when we buy, we will save on the transportation cost as well.
But all these things would have been factored in when the data was provided, isn't it? When you say variable cost, it must have included all these things. It must have factored in everything. और कोई बताए?
Sir, maybe if someone will buy products from outside, he'll save his manpower for other purposes.
Okay. So if you are to take a decision,
point is also the same.
you will go for buying, isn't it?
Sir, I think when we buy, we are
No,
acting as a
Kamran,
mediator, and when we
what I'm
manufacture.
asking, in case you have to take a decision. See, when you have to take a decision, you will not open a book. You will not write this and that. I mean, isn't it? You will decide this or that. And if the owner of the firm's other stakeholder whom you are accountable ask you will justify, isn't it? हम ये थोड़ी करेंगे वहां पर बैठ करके. तो आप मुझे ये बताइए कि you are in a situation, you are taking this decision. इसका HR और finance से क्या ताल्लुक? Let me give you now some more clue. You will definitely be able to contribute more. What is the trend these days? Outsourcing or making on your own?
Sir, outsourcing.
Outsourcing means buying or making?
Buying.
Buying. ऐसा क्यों है?
So because in this,
because-
risk is not on our side.
Because Kanishka, because risk is not on your side. Okay. If you are working as an HR manager of a company, you are working as HR manager of the company. Would you like to have more workforce or less workforce?
More available workforce.
More or less?
Sir, HR would like to have less workforce.
Less to make more work.
Less workforce. How about people? You are working in a finance department, so your concentration will be on saving a single penny. If you are a finance man, what will be your concentration? What will be your focus? To save money from all sources. If you are working as HR, what will be your focus? Let us spend more money but less headache. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
HR people, the concentration or focus. So why did I say that you may be a right person for finance or you may be a right person for HR? If your answer was after due diligence, after lot of thinking with conviction, then this may be correct, that you are interested in less and less headache. See, let us pay more but have less headache, because if there are more people working in the company on your payroll, your employees, then you will be subject to lot of rules, lot of benefits to be extended to. There may be more strikes, there can be everything will be more compared to a smaller one. So the trend, if you observe these days, lot of things are being outsourced in an organization which is using 1000 employees. Hardly 100 are its own employees, its own payroll. 900 could be, I'm not saying a particular percentage, I have no idea. Just like that, I'm saying the proportion may definitely differ. 900 could be outsourced, for which company is not responsible. Anything happens to an employee in the company can simply say he is not our employees. So HR people will be like that. They will be interested in less and less. So that was the reason. So you have several things with this respect. You can have make, or you can buy. Look at the respective advantages, disadvantages, merit, demerits, other things, and then take a decision, not merely on the basis of thing that you have worked out. Shall we proceed now? I ask you to verify this, taking a data of your own choice. Did you verify that at less than this there will be loss and more than this there will be profit?
Yes,
I
sir.
think you have not. See, this is how the difficulty arises. If you practice whatever is learned the same day, you tend to remember it for long. You understand the concept and there are a problem, then you seek a clarification. When you don't follow the instructions for the next class, then there are problems. You could have tried, if not now, at least try. Why I ask you not to try with the same data? It can be a copy and paste. You try. I am only telling you the mechanism. You try with your own data and see that the statement you made here, that for less than this there will be profit, for more than this there will be loss, you will find that your answers were correct. Take any two data, and if you did not do it now. Now we go to the next advantage or next managerial use of break-even analysis. That managerial use is, or can be classified, can be termed as equipment selection. If you have more than one equipment to choose from, it can be equipment, it can be service, it can be anything. Not necessarily it is confined to production. It can be equally applicable to the services also. So if you have a choice between selecting two equipments, let us say one is highly sophisticated machine and one is an average machine, not that sophisticated, it is an average machine. So naturally both will cost you differently. So assume that sophisticated machine costs you 1 million, that is 10 lakh, and average machine costs you rupees 7 lakh. So naturally, when you buy a machine or any equipment, it comes at a fixed cost, and running also costs it. So variable cost of the first machine is rupees 70 per unit, and variable cost of average machine is 100 unit. So if you need to make a decision that which one of the two you should buy, so in order to take this decision, break-even analysis helps you. Break-even analysis can help you. How will it help you? I'll take up just in a minute. Before that, the problem part should be clear to you. A company is contemplating to buy a machine. If it is a sophisticated one, this is the cost. If it is not so sophisticated, it is the cost. And apart from fixed cost, there is variable cost also. The variable cost is also being mentioned in front of each machine. Is the problem clear to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is the problem clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Can any one of you give me example of the same situation related to services? Suppose the example I have taken is of production. What could be a situation in services wherein we may have this situation? Okay. If not now, think of it later. Services example. Example of service. What could be the example of a service? Let me
So
proceed.
we can take the example of recharges, mobile recharges.
Okay.
Yes. Like if we pay more, we get more data, and if we pay less, we get less data.
Mobile services. So one-time cost is more and data is also more. One-time payment is less, data is also less. So where is the reverse relationship? Okay, before you further think over, can I write this also? Variable cost is 100 and here variable cost is 70. Can I write like this? The data that I have written now, is it possible? Or is it realistic to write like this? That variable cost will be 100 and variable cost will be 70.
No, sir.
Why not?
So because the sophisticated machine will be more efficient.
Yes, it is not possible. That means the data that is to be assumed should also be realistic. Otherwise, our answer will be incorrect. That was the reason of writing these two figures currently in red font. Correct. Now we are confronting with the problem by calculating the number of units at which our total cost will be equal. See, if you continue producing some units here, under the same assumption, continue making some units here, a time will come when total cost of both the units produced will be same. At this juncture, at this level, you will be, there will be a trade-off. You will be independent. Total cost will be equal. Then you may take a decision. If you need more than those units, then naturally sophisticated one will be desirable, because at each unit you will be saving 30 rupees. But if you need lesser units, then average machine will be desirable, because you will be saving 30 rupees at each. You will be recovering your fixed cost much earlier. And how do we calculate those units? You can put them in a simple algebraic equation. Assume that units were x. So here 100x plus 10 lakh, and here 70x plus 10 lakh, and here 100x plus 7 lakh. The number of units. Is the answer correct? At 10,000 units, total cost of production by one of the two machines will be the same, whether you go for this or you go for this. If you are making 10,000 units, your total cost will be the same. What will be the total cost of making 10,000 units?
17 lakh.
17 lakh.
Sorry?
17 lakh.
17 lakh.
17 lakh. How much will be the cost by making 17 lakh from each machine? Either you use machine A, this sophisticated one, or you use machine B. Isn't it? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may verify this answer, whether the answer is correct or not, by producing 8,000 units, taking two machines. By producing 12, yes.
So why we are using 100x with
Okay.
so
We have assumed
it is 70 per units.
Okay, we have assumed number of unit to be x. So in case of this 70 unit, so we are using 70x. In case of yes, you are right. It should be 70 should be here and 100 should be here. You have rightly pointed out. Make these changes, or I'll send you the corrected version later. It should be 70 and here it should be 100, because here the variable cost is 100 and here the variable cost is 70. Thank you for pointing it out. So this is how we can arrive at the answer. 10,000 will be only when we put it in this equation. And now use 8,000 units, use 12,000 units. You will notice that the statement you made here is correct. That is, if you make 8,000 units, which machine will be desirable, A or B?
So B.
B, correct.
B.
And if you use 12,000 units, which will be desirable?
A.
A. Why I did not ask you to calculate for option B?
Because sir, that is a break-even point.
That is?
Both will be same. So both costs will be same from both.
Number one, both costs will be same, and number two, we have already calculated, isn't it? We have already calculated. So I have written here, verify your answers at the above units and note your observations. See, this you do. At the same time, also try to verify your answers using data of your choice. Unless you practice, you won't learn. Yesterday, I asked you that how many of you prepared break-even chart, isn't it? You answered yes or no. In your opinion, how many would have said yes?
So 20% around.
Around 20%. और कोई आंसर बताया जिन्होंने yes कहा होगा?
Maybe about 60% people.
जिन्होंने yes कहा होगा? और कोई?
40%.
40. आप सिर्फ ये बता दीजिए कितने लोगों ने yes कहा होगा 85 में से?
8 people.
जोर से बोलिए थोड़ा सा.
30 नहीं, 30.
8.
और कोई बताइए.
Hardly 4 or 5.
इतना भी बुरी पोजीशन नहीं है.
So 20 approx.
जी निदाल तुम बताओ कितनों ने कहा होगा?
25.
आपका डेटा ये है कि 20 लोगों ने यस कहा है 85 में से और 65 ने नो कहा है. मेरे पास आपका पूरा डेटा डे 1 से लेकर के आज तक बहुत ही सिस्टमेटिकली रिकॉर्डेड है. मैंने आपको कितने सवाल दिए फॉर्मली और कितने सवाल दिए इनफॉर्मली. फॉर्मली तो वो हैं जो गूगल क्लासरूम पे रिकॉर्डेड हैं. इनफॉर्मली ये हैं जो मैंने कल भी बताए थे, आज भी बताया बहुत से कि ये करके देखिए, ये करके देखिए. वो सब रिकॉर्डेड है. आप सब लोगों की एज ए क्लास जो उसमें परफॉर्मेंस है उसको कंप्लाइंस की अनफॉर्चुनेटली बहुत ही डिसमल है. और उसके बाद आप ये कहते हैं कि साहब अकाउंटिंग समझ में नहीं आ रही और ये सब्जेक्ट मुश्किल है और हम तो फेल हो जाएंगे और हम तो ये हो जाएंगे. ये जो हमारा और आपका इंटरेक्शन है ये आप सब जानते हैं सर्विसेज हैं, प्रोडक्शन तो है नहीं. प्रोडक्शन में तो जो प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर है वो क्वालिटी की रिस्पॉन्सिबल है. ये तो सर्विसेज हैं. सर्विसेज में आउटपुट के लिए कौन रिस्पॉन्सिबल होता बताइए? यूजर. और असल में सर्विसेज के लिए आउटपुट दोनों पार्टीज होती हैं, जिनको सर्विस रेंडर की जा रही है और जो सर्विस अवेल कर रहे हैं. बोथ पार्टीज आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द डिजायर्ड आउटकम ऑफ सर्विस. मैं आपको कितनी भी मेहनत से पढ़ा लूँ अगर आप कान बंद करके बैठे हैं, नॉट फिजिकली आई एम सेइंग मेंटली, तो मैं दुनिया का बेहतरीन टीचर हूँ तब भी मैं आपके लिए यूजलेस हूँ. आप कितनी भी मेहनत कर लें, you put in your the best efforts and I don't deliver better, still the output will not be desired one. So unless both of us work hard, unless both of us work towards the same goal, the output will not be desired one. Unless the instructions are followed religiously, जैसे बताया है वैसे करिए, and if you don't agree it is not correct the way we should do, you have always been open, you should be open. सर इसको ऐसा नहीं ऐसा करना बेहतर है. I have always accepted, but you should at least tell me. But if you don't do it at all, then how do you expect to learn more and accordingly get good grades? It's not only about the grades. There is something secondary, but at least learning should take place. I'll tell you a little more. Now we come to the next part of our discussion. Equipment selection is over. You need any clarification, any discussion on this one, or should I proceed? Do you require any clarification here?
No, sir.
Tell me one more thing. You have analyzed about the two equipments. Let me change this data here. I am just changing this data here. I am changing this data slightly. I am adding one more row here. You have a third category of machine called a C. It is a manual machine and its fixed cost is, let us say, 4 lakh, and its variable cost is, how much should I assume? Can you suggest a figure?
150.
150, correct. It should in any case not be more than, less than 100. Agreed? Variable cost is 150. In such a scenario, how will you take a decision? If this is the scenario, how will the decision be taken?
Depends on the number of units we need.
How will you calculate? Suppose you have calculated number of units. How will you decide?
So we will calculate the cost for every machine, and we will
Okay.
take the machine which will have less cost.
So cost is in front of
We'll
you.
also look into quality. We'll also
Say
look
it
into
again.
the
We
quality
will also
and the
look
time
into.
taken. Quality and time taken.
But quality and time taking has
Quality
already been factored in all these things, isn't it?
Yes.
See, you have taken a decision when there were two machines. What is the decision? If you need these many units, you will go for this. If you need more than this, you will go for this. That is the decision. Now you have three options. How will you decide? How will you arrive at number of units and then say, if units are more, we will go for this.
For manual machines, we have to pay for the labor also.
But all these things are
But at the
being
same time,
quantified here.
maintenance cost.
Everything has been calculated and quantified in this case. What is variable cost? It includes everything. Every conceivable thing is included here. Okay, I'll tell you how to do this.
Fixed cost is
Yes.
the one.
No, you are not audible. Can you adjust the mic? Can you adjust the
we
screen?
will go for the average machine. So that
Average machine. Which is average machine here? Which is average machine here?
am I audible now, sir?
Sir,
Yes,
I
now
think
audible.
with this.
Okay, I'll tell you what is to be done in case you have more than two choices, like three choices. First, you calculate the choice between A and B. Then you have already done. Your answer is 10,000. Then you calculate choice between B and C. If you go between B and C, your answer should be more than 10 or less than 10. Okay, do it immediately. Most of you are good at math. You have done. Compare B and C. What is your answer? Forget that A is mentioned. You are making a choice between B and C. At what rate will you break even? At what units will you break even?
Less than 10.
100x plus 7 lakh is equal to 150x plus 4 lakh. What is the value of x? B and C, what is the value of x?
6,000.
6,000. Okay. Now you have got an answer 6,000. Assuming that this answer is correct, what is the interpretation now? What is the interpretation now if the answer is 6,000? B and C. Comparison between B and C gives you 6,000.
Then break even point should be 6,000.
एक second. Compare takes time to write. Comparison between B and C is equal to 6,000. Now tell me the answer. Yes. Tell me the interpretation.
Sir, for any number of units below 6,000, we will choose manual machine, and
Okay.
above 6,000, we will choose average machine.
Or
And
now,
above 8,000, we will use sophisticated machine.
now tell me the total answer and answer taking into consideration A, B, and C. Now your answer is correct. We have got a range now. What is the range? 6,000 and 10,000.
10,000.
10,000. Below 6, manual will be
Manual.
desirable. Above 6, average will be desirable.
Average.
Above 10, sophisticated will be desirable. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Yes.
So that means if we have more than one option also, more than 2, 3, 4, equipment selection, break-even analysis concept helps us and we calculate various range. between these two range, this is desirable, beyond this is desirable, below this is desirable. Now what at least you do it for tomorrow, use this table, the table where I am moving cursor, and verify your answers taking data of your choice. Is the question clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I am writing the question in the chat box. What you are supposed to do, use table with 3 options and verify your answers using data of your choice. Try to attempt and see if you can do that. Is the message clear on in the chat box? Use table with 3 options, that is machine A, B, and C, and verify your answers using data of your choice. All right. So if this part of the discussion is clear, can we move on to the next use of break-even analysis? Or somebody has a question? We move on. Here is one more use: add, drop, or replacement. In case the firm is using, let us say, 2 product lines X and Y, and the decision it wishes to take is that should it drop Y and add Z, it becomes a replacement decision. At times there can be only drop decision, at times there can be add decision, that you are having X and Y, you want to add Z, it becomes a decision of add. In case you are having X, Y, and Z, you want to drop Y or X or anything, it becomes a decision of drop. In case you are having 2, you want to replace 2, second with 3 or 3 with 4, it becomes a replacement decision. So in such a scenario wherein you wish to take either decision related to adding a product line, dropping a product, replacing one from the other, in this scenario also break-even analysis helps you. How does break-even analysis help you? Will be taken up later. First, let us understand the problem at hand. Just concentrate on data given in black font. Concentrate the data given in black font. What is the current scene? It is making 2 products X and Y. Sales price is given, variable cost is given, fixed cost is given. What the firm intends to do? What is the proposal? Proposal is given in font red. It wants to continue producing X, but wants to introduce Z, not Y, but Z. The cost data and the revenue data is also given. Should the firm go ahead with the proposal or it should not go? Is the problem part clear now?
Sir, is Z is the substitute for Y?
Where is the?
Sir, is Z, product Z, is the substitute of product Y?
Yes, yes. Product Z is the substitute of Y. So what I have written here? Replacement. Either substitute or replacement. So what is the problem at hand? We are trying to find out the product replacement decision. Same thing can be applied to drop, same thing can be applied to add also. So is the problem part clear? Firm is interested in knowing what should it do from the current scenario to the proposal. If the problem is clear, I'll proceed and explain to you the solution part. Should I proceed? Is the problem part clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That in order to decide, we need to calculate 2 levels of break-even. 2 levels of break-even. What is the break-even at current level and what will be the break-even at proposal level? If the proposal level break-even increases, we will not, and if the break-even decreases, we will. Why is it so? Because earlier we recover our money, better it is. There may be several other considerations also, But before we go for those considerations, let us see how to calculate break-even. You have calculated break-even so far, where there was only one product. Now there are two, X and Y, and fixed cost naturally is common. So to calculate break-even, when there is more than one product, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, we calculate break-even like this. For a solution, calculate sales mix. What is the meaning of sales mix? The ratio in which two products are being sold. In which ratio X and Y is being sold?
2:3.
40% and
60%.
60%, isn't it? 2:3, you are right. 2:3 or 40% or 60%. What is the contribution from X and Y? Contribution from X and Y is 40% and 60% respectively. The first step is calculate sales mix, which we have calculated. Sales mix we have calculated. Step number 1, calculate sales mix. I have mentioned here sales mix is 40% and 60%. What is the second? This one, calculate a contribution ratio. Calculate contribution ratio is step number 2. Contribution ratio, which I have mentioned here. How to calculate contribution ratio? That you already know. Can someone tell me how to calculate contribution ratio? What is the formula?
The sales price minus variable cost.
Yes. Say it again.
Sales price minus variable cost, sir.
Sales price minus variable cost is not contribution ratio. It is something what it is.
One minus variable cost for sales.
1 minus variable cost divided by sales, isn't it? So what somebody said right now, it is contribution margin. Sales minus variable cost is contribution margin. And what is contribution ratio? Is 1 minus variable cost divided by sales. So this is our contribution ratio. We know that if we are sales price is 30, variable cost is, sorry, sales price is 40, variable cost is 30, what will be the contribution ratio? 25%. 1 minus 75. Is this right? Is 0.4 clear? Is 0.25 also clear? Okay. Try to concentrate. Okay. Try to concentrate on this table once the class is over, because we are approaching at 8:50. Try to concentrate, and then we will continue it tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a holiday. Tomorrow is Sunday. Tomorrow let me also take a break. We will work it out on Monday, but you work it out on your own. Try to at least pay some time, pay some attention, and work out on your own. Correct? Then we will see you tomorrow. Just one second. Has everybody entered the name, or is still somebody left? I think everybody has entered the name. So we will, you may quit the class now, because you will be required to join another class.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.